Purpose. That's the last one. That is what makes someone engaged. Can they preserve their values here? They wanted to work here. They ended up working here. They became an employee because there is a commonality of constitution, because their values match yours. Their mission matches yours. And so the question is, how do you let them preserve it? You guys know Matt Foley? The motivational speaker who lives where? Is the river over there or is it over there? Well, I think it's over there. So I grew up watching this stuff. SNL, mid-90s, Dana Carvey, David Spade, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley. And I love watching this because he would try to do what to these people? Try to motivate them, yeah. And what did he end up doing? He would usually fall on the table and break it. I think there was that was like part of the scene. He always had to break the coffee table. So over the years, I started to think, well, I don't know. Can you motivate people? Yes or no? Yes? I hear a couple of yeses. Anyone say no? Okay. I mean, you can argue certainly either way, and that's what I want to get into a conversation about is, what's the breakdown? Can this actually happen, or is there something in between? Because in my experience, and just because I'm a speaker and I do this for a living, I don't think you can motivate anybody to do anything ever. I think you can inspire people to motivate themselves. This is what I've found after 600 or something speeches, that I can't motivate you guys. I can give you some inspirations, that way you can do the work yourself. Because if I try to motivate you and then you leave, then the spark dies and you do nothing. But if it's you, if you take ownership, if it comes from you, then it's going to get done faster, better, quicker, and more beautiful. So that's sort of my theory. And I know this also because of the stupidest gift I ever gave my girlfriend. Now let me say before I tell this story that I didn't know any better. This was like 4 weeks ago. No, this was actually probably 4 or 5 years ago, and looking back, how stupid I was, but please tell me I'm not the only guy who's ever done this. So, right around the holidays, and she wanted it. She asked for it. So, aren't you supposed to But the one gift, apparently you're never supposed to give your girlfriend or wife is a blender was close. Exercise equipment. Okay, I'm not getting her blender. Like, no. She wants to be healthier. This is unhealthy. You idiot! Because if you get in this, you're basically saying, she only weighed 700. It wasn't that much. So this, if you go to Sears, it's in the catalog. It's the relationship under 4,000. And I learned my lesson. I learned it the hard way, but now I know. I also know that all you can do is inspire people to motivate themselves. So who remembers this from when you were a kid? Now, currently, if anyone have kids under 10, they still do this stuff, the times tables? Yeah, because some of them do, now some don't. Last week, this woman told me that they have something different. It's not a table, it's like a different setup. And then another woman said there is no times tables. Now they have something called new math. That sounds like a cult. That sounds new math. So it's not quite the same as it used to be, but I remember this. And if you look on the chart, there's one number mysteriously missing. What is it? Because any number multiplies by 0 is what? No matter how big the number is. Are you trying to multiply by 0? Are you trying to motivate people with a huge number and it's still a 0? Won't work. But if you can inspire them to motivate themselves, if you can engage their work as a vehicle to live their values, you win. It's a totally different equation, and that 0 is gone. So let me give an example of where this one comes from. It's my client, Spike. I love working with people like this. Spike's awesome. He works in Greenville, South Carolina, and the company he represents is called Brains on Fire. They're not an advertising agency, they're an identity company, and their brains are on fire. They have doctors, chemists, physicists, marketing people, writers. They have the most eclectic group of employees you've ever seen, and that's why they create these unbelievable programs for their different clients. They do flash mobs for their clients. Has anyone done a flash mob before? Anyone not know what a flash mob is? It's when you spontaneously break into dance in a public place at an agreed upon time. We just did one at a wedding with 200 people. a few weeks ago was the greatest thing ever. Talk about building a community, talk about being approachable. So they do flash mobs. And they had this conference a few years ago. This was kind of neat. So they have all these different clients that are big companies, and they put on a workshop for their clients. So instead of me speaking to their employees, they used me as a gift, and they gave me as a gift to their clients, and I spoke to all of them about marketing. And everyone had name tags, and we did the whole thing, and so Spike's over there, and he's a sort of a question guy too, kind of like me, and he gave me a question that is now on my list. Not the 7,000 list that you saw, this is on my top 10 list. This is one of my favorite questions of all time. Think about this. What's under your fingernails? Not literally. Because for me, that would be like blue Sharpie and pretzel dust. But when something is under your fingernails, it is so much a part of your values and who you are that you can't escape it. Metaphorically, what is under your fingernails? I mean, obviously, you go to a mechanic, what's under that person's fingernails? Grease. But on a deeper level, there is something under that mechanic's fingernails. How about thousands of people's problems? How about all the frustrations? So what's under your fingernails when you work in IT? Tell me. Every problem that you solve, those people that call and they're afraid to call, but then you make everything easy. Every one of those instances, all that bitter frustration that comes from those people, that's there. And your employees do the same thing. The people you work with have something under there. And if you could know what's under it, that is the surefire ticket to inspire them to motivate themselves. That's not a hot button, that's a motherboard. Oh, that was an IT term. So, how do you inspire people to motivate themselves? The last question of this exercise, we're going to start to wrap things up. Take a couple minutes, see what you can come up with, and then we'll come back to the